Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Bunker Hill's corporate update following our news release that went out yesterday. Sam Ash, our President and CEO, will be hosting us for a live tour of the processing facility, and I'll turn it over to Sam.
Thanks for joining, everyone. So I think everybody's read the press release by now. We've been making fantastic progress here on site. We're on track for a restart in the first half of next year. And it's pretty exciting to be restarting a mine producing three critical metals, lead, zinc, and silver, all destined to support the North American supply chain. So I'm standing here in the process plant, and in a minute I'm going to turn the camera around and give you a nice walkthrough on the process plant, which is now over 80% complete. And the remaining work is a little bit of electrical hookup and a little bit more pipe hookup. So you may see some folks working today on some of that piping that I was talking about, but we'll get a good view and a sense of how the process plant has been coming along. So with that, I will flip my camera around and we'll take a walk. So I'm starting at the back end of the plant, and what we're looking at there is the zinc concentrate thickener. And I'm going to walk along the bottom level of the process plant here and kind of explain to you what we're seeing and what we have going on. You can see that all the mezzanines are complete. All the major equipment is installed. You can see here the zinc thickener or the zinc concentrate tank and the lead concentrate tank, the pumps that are used to move the concentrate slurry around. Dosing and mixing tanks. The actual reagents are on the mezzanine above. We'll see those. They feed down into these mixing tanks, get mixed in the proper proportion, and then pumped back up into the flotation cells. This is looks like a pump, but it's a large air blower to provide air to the aeration in the flotation cells. As we're coming along, you can see the pipe fully installed. Everything's moving along quite well. And we're coming up on the grinding circuit here. You can see a couple of the small underflow cyclones. The primary ball mill, which has been in place for some time, but is now approaching the position where all of the piping and electrical is done. This is the secondary regrind mill. And again, you can see that now most of the piping is complete. The large tank in front of us is the recycling load for the primary ball mill. Some of the slurry pumps move the slurry around in the ball mill. Just crossing under the primary ball mill feed conveyor, which is coming from the coming from the coarse ore stockpile. Nice view of the regrind mill here. We'll come up the stairs. So we've been, while I'm walking, we've been making some really great progress with the mine. Financing has come along nice, and we've seen a nice reaction to the share price and the progress that we're making in the market. Come into the control room. The operators will control the process plant. It's a fully automated plant, so we'll only have 7 operators on shift, and that includes 2 operators, 2 mechanics, an electrician, and a couple of guys all doing rounds walking the plant. So pretty efficient from a manpower perspective. This is the primary cyclone, which sizes the material coming out of the ball mill. And if it's too large, it circles back into the ball mill. And if it's of the right size, it then goes to the regrind mill for further grinding before it goes to the flotation cells. And over here we have the flotation cells. So these are the zinc roughers, or sorry, the lead roughers. So this is the first stage of flotation. This is where the right around 70–80% of the lead is floated immediately, and then reports to the concentrate thickener. And then this is the first lead cleaner, which takes the material. It's a secondary cleaning stage for the lead concentrate. And then we move over into the zinc flotation cells. So you can see the flotation cells are all installed, ready to go. Motors are wired in. The agitators are in place. In the bottom of the stuff. And we're pretty quick getting to the point where we'll be ready to operate. The process plant is not on the critical path. The critical path is the tails filtration plant, which will take the tails material, dewater it for transport back to the underground for disposal into the underground as paste tails and backfill. These are the reagent dosing tanks up here. So all of the different reagents that we'll use will start up here and then be introduced into the reagent mixing tanks down below. This is our reagent pumping system. And as we move across, we'll walk over the top of the lead thickener and the zinc thickener. Down on the bottom there, those 2 bug pumps are vacuum pumps. The vacuum pumps are what drive and provide a vacuum for the tails filtration, which we'll see in just a minute. So you can see the lead and silver thickener. The material after it's gone through flotation, the lead silver concentrate comes here for thickening, where most of the water is removed. And the underflow from that, the thickened lead concentrate goes over to the lead concentrate filters to have the rest of the water removed. And this large tank here is the zinc thickener. And you can see the rakes in there. And essentially what happens here is the zinc concentrate, which is in a fluid. The zinc sinks to the bottom and clean water floats out over the top. And that water is then pumped back and reused in the processing plant and goes through the process again. This filtration unit is what they call a disc filter. Right now the discs aren't in place, but if you can imagine, there's a whole series of cloth discs that fit around this central shaft. And as they circle down to the bottom, they pick up lead silver concentrate. And then the lead silver concentrate, when it comes around, is scraped off by these scrapers and dropped down onto a conveyor belt, which then takes that concentrate out to the concentrate storage area. So I'm going to walk outside now, and we will climb up the conveyor belt, and I'll show you what I think is the is the best view in Kellogg. So this conveyor that's over the top of us here delivers the crushed ore to the coarse ore bin, which is the start of the milling process. I'm gonna jump by you guys here. No worries. And so we're walking up the conveyor that delivers crush or run of mine ore to the top of the crusher tower to be crushed and then delivered to the milling process. And you can see what I mean by the best view in Kellogg. We can see all the way over town. It's a bit of a foggy morning this morning. The fog will burn off and we're expected to have a really nice, beautiful fall day. It's a little bit of a climb, so you might hear me breathing a little bit hard. The crusher is installed. All of the screens are installed. You can see down here. And this part of the project is in the process of having electrical hooked up. And once the electrical is hooked up, we'll have the ability to crush rock. That's the process office building over there. And it also serves as the mine dry, where the miners change and get ready for their shift in the underground. The building in the background over here is represents the critical path of the project. That's the tails filtration plant. And it's a pretty exciting day here on site because the first steel is going to be swung into place and begin to be erected in the tails filtration plant. So in just a few minutes, we're a little bit early, we'd see that crane actually swinging some steel into place. The tails filtration plant is a 100% purchased. We just need to put it together. And you can see some of the steel sitting in the yard there. And we'll have several more trucks of steel arriving over the next few days. These conveyors coming out here into this concrete structure are the concentrate conveyors that deliver the dried concentrate into the concentrate storage facility. And the structure here is the weigh scales, where the trucks that will be hauling the concentrate to the trail smelter in British Columbia will be loaded for shipment off to Trail, British Columbia. Okay. We will head back down now, and you can see it from this view, the crushed ore conveyor that will deliver crushed ore to the coarse ore bin. So as you can see, it's really starting to look like a proper mine processing facility. We're pretty excited with the progress, and we're well set up to finish all of this construction through the winter months into the first half of 2026 and be ready to transition from a developer into a producer in the first half of 2026.
Sam, we've got a few questions that have come in on the chat. Would you like to answer them now, or do you want to wait until you get down to the bottom?
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead and ask away, and I'll turn my camera around here in a minute when I get to a good spot.
Terrific. So the first question is, when will the updated resource estimate and 2024 drill results be available?
We are
Sam, you're obviously in a dead
And
space.
we're looking to have that early in the new year.
Sam, can you repeat that because you were in a dead spot?
Yep. Let me just. Sorry about that.
Yep.
Yeah. So the resource and a lot of the resource that we were doing was kind of confirmatory in nature, working on infill drilling. We're still looking at that to see if it is materially different. There are differences, there are improvements, but we're working through that right now with the mine planning team, and we'll that work will be completed, through the next month and a half, 2 months.
Terrific. The second question is, will there be more updates when commissioning begins on the process plant? What major, excuse me, what major hurdles are still unresolved, i.e. has transportation plan been secured?
Yeah. So let's see. So first of all, we will give many more updates as we continue through the construction process. We're going to look to do this fairly regularly, ideally at least once a month going forward, and keep everybody updated on the progress. Um, as far as hurdles, I don't know if I would call them hurdles, but there certainly is plenty of work left to do. We have between now and through the first half of 2026 to make sure that we are ready for operation. And I can say that our focus has begun to shift slightly, and certainly construction is still, a primary focus of ours. But we've also begun to add in aspects of operational readiness, which speaks to the which speaks to contracts around ore shipment, uh, contracts around ore haulage from the underground down to the process plant, and a whole range of commercial contracts that need to be uh, fully negotiated and put into place between now and the middle of June next year. We of course have kind of indicative market indices of where we expect those to be, but operational readiness, I think the answer is going to be is a increasing focus for the organization, and we're certainly beginning to put a lot more resources focused on operational readiness to ensure that we're ready to initiate operations through the first half of 2026.
And just a reminder, if anybody else has questions, just put them in the chat box and we'll address them with Sam. Bunker Hill and Monetary Metals have a relationship where Monetary Metals has leased silver to Bunker Hill to finance the operation. This was a 3-year lease starting August 2024. What is the likelihood of this lease contract being renewed, extended?
Look, Monetary Metals is a fantastic financing partner, number one, and they've been a significant and important part of the financing to build the Bunker Hill mine. The terms of the monetary metals financing, we're comfortable with, but certainly, as the time comes, that's a commercial decision. We're always looking at opportunities to lower the cost of capital, improve the balance sheet, and so, through the course of between now and as we move forward towards operation, uh, Airbrand von Erden, the CFO, myself, are always looking for opportunities to lower the cost of financing.
Well, terrific. I think that's the last of the questions. Thank you everyone for participating today. We'll have the recording up on the website as soon as practical. We hope to do this on a more frequent basis. So if you have any questions in the interim, don't hesitate to reach out to Sam or myself. Sam, anything else?
No, it's just thank you everybody for tuning in. Really appreciate the support, and just leave you with this. Bunker Hill represents one of the only, if not the only, mining company who's going to be bringing an operation into production that's delivering critical metals to the North American supply chain. There's a lot of talk around critical metals, strategic supply, and we're the company that's putting that talk into action and actually delivering metals to the supply chain in the near term. So we're in an exciting position. We've got a really motivated and energized team, and we're pushing hard to the finish to get the Bunker Hill mine back into operation in the first half of 2026. So thank you very much for tuning in.
Thank you.